Hey there, internets. Nelson here with another quick tutorial. So this one is for Sam. Sam wrote this tweet this morning saying, "Any Webflow folks know how to create a nav like this? Any suggested tutorials or similar navs?" And Ben tagged me on it, and I was like, "Yeah, I could do this. I think so. I'm gonna try like live on this recording." It's not really live, but whatever. So let's get into it for Sam and everyone else who wants to create a navbar like Zoox.com. So if you go to Zoox.com, this is their website, and we have a full navbar with a logo in the middle, two links on both sides, and if you scroll down, it does the thing. It shrinks, but then it goes away. But then if you scroll up, it shows up again. But if you scroll, it goes away. But check this out. If I scroll up, it shows again, but it's not full width. It's just, it's smaller, okay? So that's what we're going to do. We're going to try to do from full width to smaller, and then we're also going to try to do a thing where if you scroll up, then it goes away. You scroll down, it comes back in. But also, when you scroll all the way up, it goes back to full width, all right? Ready, set, let's go. Blank page. Cool. So first thing I want to do is let's go ahead and drag a nav bar right there. All right. So this nav bar, we'll expand it, and it has... Wait, do I have magnifier on? Oh, I don't. Hold on. Let me turn on magnifier. There it goes. Cool. All right. So there we go. So as you can see, we have a bunch of stuff. We have the navbar component, which is just a div, a container of 960 or 940 pixels width with margin auto on both sides. We have a link for our logo and nav menu, and this is what makes this is responsive later on. But yeah, and then we have these nav links, and then for responsiveness, the hamburger menu right here and the hamburger menu icon right here. Cool, nice. So first things first, how do we get two links on either side and put the brand in the middle? So one thing you can do is put the brand in here. Okay, and then copy paste, and there we go. All right, so now let's override some stuff. I don't like using the Webflow default container. I'm going to make my own div. So with navbar selected, Command E or Control E, type in div, and there we go. Drag that to the top, and this nav menu, I'm going to drag it inside of div block. Same thing with the menu button. That way I can take this old school container, delete it, and now I have full control over the width of this div block. So I'm just going to guess this is like 1180, just picking a number out of nowhere. So 1180, margin both sides. Boom, done. Now notice how the div block, it's just a little sliver. It has no height to it. It's because nav menu, when you drag in a navbar component in Webflow, the nav menu already has some styles, and it's hard to find them because you have to actually open it up. So like this, it's already set to float. So you don't want that. And so Webflow doesn't indicate this anywhere unless you actually go look for it. So these are some pro tips. So I don't want that to float. So we don't want that old school CSS float stuff. No. We want to use Flexbox or Grid. Should I use Grid or... Let's go with Flexbox on this one. Let's try it. Okay, so we have that nav menu, and then this brand right here, this also has a float. So let's clear that as well. Take off all the old school CSS. We don't need that. And this menu button, let's take off that float too. See how it has a float to the right? Take that out. We don't need it. All right, cool. Why does this brand have... Oh, okay, let's see here. Display inline block. There we go. All right. The reason why there is some space at the top was not because it has a margin, but because it's display inline. So we're going to set it to display inline block. Good to go. All right. In this brand, I'm going to put an image, but I'm not going to upload anything. I'm just going to leave it as is. Pretend we have an image. Sweet. So we have image. We're good to go. And now, how do we magically make this centered? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the power of Flexbox. So we have Flexbox right here, and we're going to justify everything to the edges. Space evenly in between. Bam. All right, so we're there. But it's not exactly like this. So what we need to do is we need to add a div that wraps the two sides. All right, so let's go ahead and do that. Put a div here, drag in the first one, the second one, and then same thing here. I'm gonna put a div, hey. Put you in there, put you in there. Cool, so now we have this centered thing, okay? Cool. Now, let's see here. This navbar, this needs to be 1180. My apologies. So this div block right here, which I'll call nav container, it doesn't need any styles as far as I can tell. But this navbar right here does. This one is what needs the 1180 margin on both sides. And let's add some margin to the top. We'll say 20. And let's round out the corners. Actually, let's add some padding on both sides. No, come back. There we go. Let's add like 42 on both sides. 42, 42. Let's add some stuff at the top and bottom, say 12. And let's go 20. 50. There we go. So something like that. So it's not exactly like Zooks, but I mean, I'm just showing you what you can do. All right. So we have this pill kind of a thing going. Cool. So we have our structure done. Now it's all about just doing interactions. All right. So let's add some sections real quick. Oh wait, I need to make this navbar fixed because as you can see, as you scroll up and down, it's actually fixed to the top. So I have to keep this navbar fixed to the top. So I'm gonna go here to position fixed. And we want to push it to the top. And we want to make sure that it's on top of everything. So we'll give it a z-index of 1000. And there we go. All right, now we can add our sections. So Control E, SEC for section, and we'll give it a height of 100 VH because this is fake stuff. So I'm gonna make it Flexbox center. We'll give it a background color of like, there we go. And we'll give it a text color of white so we can put a heading and say this is section 1. Copy paste 2 times so we have another section. So if this is section 2, I'm going to give it a combo class, section 2, give it a different color. Ugh, no. Okay, we'll go with dark tones right now. Section 2, one more for section 3. Give it a combo class of 3 and change this up. There we go. Cool. Structure is done. Let's do fun interactions. Okay, so what do I want to do first? Okay, let's do the easy thing first, where when you scroll up, when you scroll down, the thing goes away. When you scroll up, it comes back. Cool. So let's try this. Right here, this lightning bolt, that is interactions. All right. So what we want to do is under page trigger plus page scrolled. Okay. So when the page scrolls down, so we're going to start with scroll down. When the page scrolls down, we're going to start animation. And we're going to do a timed animation. Yep, time animation. And we're going to say scroll down. All right. So as I scroll down, I'm going to affect this navbar, give it an action, and move it, let's say, negative 100% of itself on the y-axis. Probably a little bit more. Okay, so we'll do 140%. So it's down here, 140% on the y-axis, negative 140. And we'll set that to a ease and save. All right, so if we want to test it now, we can. So if I scroll down, it goes away. If I scroll up, it's still going away because we didn't do the scroll up yet. So first interaction done. So now we're going to start another animation for the scroll up. We're going to duplicate scroll down. I'm going to choose it, and we're going to call this scroll up. Uppo? Scroll up. And this navbar, instead of y is negative 140, I'm just going to set this to y equals 0. And that's it. So let's preview, scroll down, scroll up. There we go. That's working. All right, cool. All right, so now how do we make it shrink? All right, so we're going to save this interaction and let's figure it out. So if you notice, if you scroll down a little bit past the hero row, like once you get to right here, that's when it shrinks. But when you scroll up, it's still that shrunken size. However, if you go all the way to the top, then it expands to its original size. So that's telling me the only thing that needs a trigger is this first section. So I'm clicking on the first section, giving it an element trigger of scroll into view. And when I scroll out of view, I want it to shrink. So I'm going to choose scroll out of view. And let's set the offset to 10%. Okay, so when we scroll out of view, 10%, I think it's 10%, but let's just keep trying. 10%, and so we're going to create a new animation and call it nav shrink. Cool. And now we want to affect navbar. Let's give it an action of size. And I'm going to go down here to the bottom right where it's width, and let's give it 940. It didn't work. Oh, because it says siblings right here. So Webflow chose the wrong thing. So I'm going to have to set that to all elements with this class. There we go. So now it works. All right, so let's go 940. All right, actually, let's make it 700. 720? Okay, we'll do 720 like that, so it's super noticeable. And we'll do the easing to ease, and you can choose your liking to the ease, but there we go. That's it. That's it. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, so that's that. And then when I scroll into view, start animation, and we'll do an offset of 10 as well. And we're just going to duplicate this shrink, and we'll call it expand. Nav expand. And this navbar size, we're going to bring it back to 1180. And there we go. So save. I think that's it. Let's see. I'm going to scroll down. It didn't do the little... Okay, well, see... Oh, okay. So I just have my offsets wrong. So let's fix the offsets. Let's say this one... Let's make it 40. And this one be 40. Let's see how that works. Okay. I mean, you can play with the offsets however you want to whatever you're liking, but there you go. That's it. That's it. So Sam and whoever else is looking for a tutorial like this, there you go. Yeah, let me know what you think about this in the comments below. Don't forget to like, hit the bell, subscribe, all the good things. But thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. And as always, make the web beautiful together. See ya.